Hello and welcome to The Split. I'm Dave, otherwise known as Split End 89, and can you believe it? We are less than 60 days away from web slinging around New York City, and I'm here to give you 6 reasons why you should be hyped about Spider-Man. So, reason number 1, Insomniac Games. Insomniac has given us amazing games like Ratchet and Clank and Spyro, and they're here to continue that with the next Spider-Man game. With all the experience they have making phenomenal games that are not only engaging but fun, we should be in for a treat with whatever interpretation Insomniac decides to take with this new game. While Insomniac isn't always free of making something that isn't the best, I'm looking at you, Fuse. They still have a track record of excellence when it counts, and with a licensed property like Spider-Man, that's needed. Reason number 2, a humongous open world. Insomniac made a little game that you may or may not remember for the Xbox One titled Sunset Overdrive. And Sunset Overdrive was huge. Super quirky, but huge. Insomniac has promised that Spider-Man will be 3 times the size of Sunset Overdrive, meaning we're in for a really big adventure. And why not? Spider-Man needs a big world to operate in. When he can web sling, run up walls, climb around, and jump like crazy, you need a big playground to play in. Insomniac has put attention to detail into this, and a huge open world is exactly what we need to jump into when we start playing Spider-Man. Reason number 3, the villains. More specifically, the Sinister Six. In Sony's E3 showcase, they showed off the Raft demo, where a bunch of supervillains were escaping from a big prison on an island. We got to see the likes of Electro, Vulture, Scorpion, Rhino, Mr. Negative, and then there was a big baddie at the end that we never saw. There's a lot of speculation that it's Doc Ock, even down to one of the voice actors saying something about it, as well as people thinking maybe it's Goblin. It could be them, it could be somebody else who's huge, it could be even a villain that we don't know about. In any case, Insomniac is getting it right by putting in a massive amount of villains for us to fight with. We've already seen references to Kingpin and Shocker in gameplay, so it's going to be very exciting to see all the villains Insomniac decides to put into the game. Reason number 4, the gadget wheel. In Ratchet & Clank and Resistance, Insomniac did a really great job at making a bunch of crazy different weapons and gadgets. Stuff that you could use that you would be like, huh, that does that? There was a disco bomb in Ratchet & Clank that you would throw and it would make everybody dance. In Resistance, there was a gun called the Auger that could shoot through walls. Just like these, and more recently, the Batman Arkham series, you're going to have a ton of gadgets to be able to use to help yourself out when battling all these different villains. See, Spidey, just like Batman, is susceptible to bullets, and take enough bullet damage and unfortunately, you're going to be pushing up daisies. So it's in your best interest to use all these different gadgets when and where you can. They've showed off that you'll have access to the spider drone, as well as we've seen stuff like tripwires and a web proximity mine that when a guy walks past you, it'll reach out, grab him, and pull him back. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to see all the weapons Spidey has fashioned to combat crime. The number 5 reason is a more mature Spider-Man. In a lot of the games and movies that we've played and watched on Spider-Man, he's just a teenager looking to make his way in this big superhero world. But in Insomniac Spider-Man, he's been on the job for 7 years. I think it's really cool that they've decided to go with this take. You get to have a Spidey who's seasoned, who knows what he's up against. Because of this, I think we're going to see deeper interactions with people around him, like Mary Jane and a new police friend he has on the force. I can't wait because I feel like we're going to get a more in-depth look at Peter Parker and see just what it is that drives him. Reason number 6, last but not least, the suits. And I'm not talking about 3-piece or, shirt and tie suits. I'm talking about spider suits. Spider-Man's costume is iconic, as are the tons of different variants there are. One of the coolest things in a Spider-Man game is to be able to pick what suit you're going to run around the city in, and Insomniac Games has come to answer that desire. We've already seen that when you pre-order the game, you get early access to the Punk Spider-Man costume, the Avengers Infinity War Iron Spider costume, as well as there's a third costume that's rumored to be announced at Comic-Con. Really hoping it's Spidey 2099. I get the feeling Spidey 2099 is going to be in the game no matter what, but we've already seen references to the original wrestler costume, as well as the Spider-Man Noir costume. I'm like everybody else, though. I want that Venom costume. Alright guys, well that's been my 6 reasons why you should be hyped about Spider-Man. What are your reasons for being hyped about Spider-Man? Please comment below and let us know exactly why you can't wait to play Spider-Man. Thank you so much for watching. This has been The Split. I'm Dave, otherwise known as Split and 89, and we will catch you later.